Okay, students, good morning to all of you. So today we are going to discuss about integrations. Students, it is a very important topic for you to learn. See, many problems we have to solve. See, minimum 70 to 80% of problems in physics, they have connection with integrations and differentiation. Differentiation already we have discussed. Now we are moving on to integrations. Now, see, integrations. Integration in the sense it is nothing but summation. What is that one? It is nothing but summation. See, summation, first letter, yes. So, symbol for this integration will be elongated S. Like this we'll write. It is S only, but you stretch it, it will become like this. This is the symbol for integration. Integration in the sense it is nothing but summation. Remember this my point. Okay? Yes. So where we will use this integration? See, in physics, not only in physics, anyway, whenever we are having one function, when we have a function which is variable, or whenever we are having a variable function, or you can say we have a variable function. So whenever we want to find the total value of that function, we need to go with the integration method. How I will explain you. Okay, and one more point, we can solve. Yes, we can solve it by integration. Okay, na? And one more important point is integration is inverse of differentiation. Very, very, very important point. See, for example, if we have a function, then if you differentiate a function y, that is equal to f of x, if we have. Now, if you differentiate this function with respect to a variable x, then you will get one value. That value, let us suppose it is f dash of x. Let us suppose it is f dash of x. Then if you integrate this f dash of x with respect to this dx, then again you will get back f of x with some constant. Very, very, very important point. So whatever you have done, one function is there. If you have done one differentiation, you will get one value. Clear? And for that value, again, if you take back integration, for that value, if you take back integration with respect to same variable, yes, variable should be same, then you will get same function back. That's why we call integration is an inverse of differentiation, inverse operation of differentiation. In this f dash of x, we call integrand. What we call? Integrand. And f dash of x dx is element of integration. This is the symbol for integration. And here c is a constant term. I will explain why we will get this later. Did you got some idea on this? What is integration? Simply remember, it is nothing but summation, and integration symbol we will write like this, elongated s, like this. Okay, na? And integrations we will use whenever we are having a variable function, and if you want to solve it, we can solve that function by using integration only. And integration is a inverse function of differentiation, inverse operation of differentiation. How? Let us suppose we are having one function y which is f of x. Means if you differentiate this f of x with respect to x, if you differentiate f of x with respect to x, suppose you will get f dash of x. F dash of x is called as differentiation of f of x with respect to x. Now, because it is inverse of differentiation, now if you take the integration of this with respect to same variable x, then you will get that function back. Clear? Okay, na? Yes. Let us come back to this point. So where we need to use these integrations? Students, let us suppose whenever you are having a variable function, let us understand this integration by graphs, by graphical method, so that it will be very easy for you. Okay, na? Yes. So further, what I am doing is, let us suppose we will take one coordinate frame x and y axis. Let us suppose yes, it is y axis and it is the origin. Okay, and let us suppose we are having a function y which is equal to f of x. Means with respect to x values are here, y value is changing. How it is changing? How y value is changing with respect to x? That I am showing you graphically. Let us suppose this is varying like this. Let us suppose, yes. Let us suppose like this it is varying. Okay, na? Or otherwise, yes, like this. One function is there. This function graph I have shown here mathematically. It is going like this. Now, what I want is, I want under this graph, how much area is there? What is the area under this graph? I want. Yes. Students, see, let us suppose this x-axis and this is y-axis, this is the origin. And if you have a line, straight line like this, let us suppose if you are having one straight line. Now, under this graph, how much area is there? How can you find this area? Yes, this area. How can you find? Yes, it is very easy for us. This distance how much? Let us suppose y. This distance how much? Let us suppose x. This area under a rectangle or a square, anything you can consider. If these two are equal, it is a square. If these two are unequal, it is a rectangle. Area of rectangle is nothing but x into y. Directly we can find. But here this is not same, because this, as you are moving like this y distance is decreasing, again increasing, means it is variable now. It is here, it is constant, this width is constant, directly you can take y, but here it is variable is there. Now how to find the area under this graph? Under this graph, let us suppose, yes, here under this graph I want to find area. Find area. How can you find? Let us suppose this is P, this is Q, PQ graph. Area under PQ graph you find. Vilas, you have chosen PCMCS. So you want to move to PCMB. Yeah. Have you written? Okay, we will discuss later. You call, we will discuss. Why to disturb the class? Okay, Vilas, you call us later after this class. We will explain you. Okay. Now we want to find. That's what to do. So a simple technique is there, Nana. So what is the technique is, let us divide this one into small strips. Strips, let us divide like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have divided like this. In terms of strips, I have divided. Okay. Now, let us choose any one of the strip. Yes, this strip I am choosing. And one more thing, you need to remember that this all strips should have same width. Yes, this width. Can you see this? Yes, this width should be same. Like that, equal width strips you divide first. Yes. Now let us give one name for this. A, B, C, D is one strip. A, B, C, D is one strip now with us. Now, let us suppose the width of this strip CD or AB is delta x, a small variable in x. Shreya, board is not clear. Okay. Yes, it is clear, ma. It is very clear. You zoom it. Huh? Yes. So, width of this strip is delta x, let us suppose. Now, so for this small elementary strip delta x, see here, you see, there is no appreciable difference in y. For delta x to be small, AD will be equal to CB will be equal to y. We can say, yes, this distance is y. We can say, clear? Are you getting? You choose delta x that should be very small, very small, so that there should be no difference in AD and BC. Both should be equal. Almost they should be horizontal. Like that, small strips you divide. So that AD is equal to CB is equal to 1. Now, what is the area of ABCD strip? Now area under ABCD strip, that is DA I call it. This small elementary area I call it, because area of this small strip, no. Yes, that is nothing but you can say CD into AB or BC, anything, breadth into length or height into width, you can say. Okay, yes, this DA is nothing but CD. CD is delta x into AB is y. So you can write DA is equal to y into delta x. Can we write? Yes, we can write. Or otherwise, y here only. It is AB into CD. Yes, AB is y, CD is delta x. Okay. Now, what we have to do is, like this small elementary strips area, one by one, we should calculate separately. This area, 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 all areas we should calculate separately. And to get total area, what we need to do? We need to add all the areas of these strips. Okay? Total area under PQ graph is equal to summation means sigma, you know. Clear? Summation of all the areas y into delta x. Y into delta x is one area of this one strip area. So like this, how many are there? So many are there. That all strips areas we have to find. Okay, Rana? Clear? Yes. Here, let us suppose. Now, for this delta x, you see delta x. See, if you see, there is small variation is there in AD and BC. It is not exactly equal. Okay, na? So for this to be equal, what we can do? This strip delta x, still we divide. See, variation has become less, still less. Are you getting? Yes. Still you divide this one. Still divide. Means like this, if you go delta x to be 0, but not equal to 0. Are you getting? This small elementary strip width make it almost to 0. but not equal to 0. Approximation it is. What we have done in differentiation, same as it is. Go to almost 0. Then what happened? Then in that case, then definitely AB and AD will be equal to BC will be equal to Y. Definitely this is. Then area, total area can be written as sigma delta x tends to 0. Okay, y delta x we can write. So whenever this delta x is tending to 0, then we can write it as y dx. And this summation we can replace with, when this approximation is happening, we can replace with the integration. Yes, this is what we have to do. But what is y? Y is f of x. I have written somewhere. Yes, y is equal to f of x. You can write. So total area will become integration of f of x dx. Clear, students? Any doubt in this? So this is the method of integration. So whenever you are unable to find total value of any function by multiplying, whenever that variable is continuously changing, then to find the total value, you can apply integration. Integration in the sense simply a summation. First, the total variable divided into small strips such that the value of that physical quantity becomes constant in that small strips. Then due to that small strip, what is the value you find? Like that, all the values you should add. Add means summation, so that you get integration. I hope you are getting the point. Clear? Yes. With one example, let us take one example. So yes, we got this idea, but what is the one example you? Okay, I'll give you example. See, students, let us suppose here we are having one spring. Let us suppose, yes, like this one spring is there. Let us imagine this spring is having some constant, a spring constant K. And due to that spring constant, let us suppose here one block of mass M is attached to the spring. A block of mass M is attached to the spring. Okay, and let us suppose from this natural length, NL means natural length. Let us compress it. Let us compress this. To here, means from here to here, let us compress. Let us compress it by this much distance x. Then what happened? After compressing it like this and release, what happened? This block will come back again. Why? A spring will exert a force on the block. Yes or no? Spring, if compress and release, it will go back to its natural length and it will overshoot also sometimes. Yes or no? A spring force will act. That spring force is given as minus kx. Minus indicates always spring force is opposite to the compression or elongation. If you compress it, force will be that side. If you elongate it, stretch it, force will be towards it. That means this spring force is a function of x. How much you compress, that much force will exert. How much you stretch, that much force will act. Means it is a variable force. It is not a constant force. It is a variable force. Now let us suppose we want to find the work done by this spring force. Work done by this spring force we want. I think so, students, you have an idea on work. Work is nothing but product of force and distance. Yes, Ritesh, what I am saying is, if you spring force, we will write like this formula: F is equal to minus kx. Okay, so how much you compress, that much force the spring will exert on you, on that object of mass. Clear? How much you elongate, that much force will act towards it. Means the spring force depends upon compression or expansion of the spring. Okay, means it is a variable force. So if you want to find work done by this type of variable forces, what you need to do is you need to do integration only. Integration only is the only solution. There is one more possibility is there, but you don't know that concept. That is the law of conservation of energy concept is there. That later we'll discuss. Okay, na? Yes. Now integration we need to apply. So before that one, what is work done? Yes, students, work is nothing but product of force and distance. Force and distance. Force and distance, if you multiply the two, it is a dot product. Na? Okay, let it be. Let us imagine both are in the same direction. It will be F into X. Okay, na? Yes. Now, but this force is not constant. It is variable. So in such case, what we need to do is, let us suppose if you compress it by a small distance dx, then for that small distance ds, how much work we need to do? Yes, that work we will do dw, that is equal to f into dx. Small amount of work done we call. Now, if you want total work done, what we need to do? We need to add all that type of small works. Means we need to integrate it. This is the meaning of integration. If you add all these type of work, small amount of work, means for compressing a total distance, x force is variable. So what I am doing is compress it in steps dx. How much work done? Calculate. Again dx. How much work done? Calculate. Again dx. How much work done? Calculate. Again dx. How much work done? Calculate. Like this, number of times you should do till you reach this location, and you should add all this work done. It is very difficult task for us. So integration will save you from that big task. You can save your time. You can do it very quickly, within seconds you can do if you use integration. I hope you got the application of integration. What is application of integration? Clear? Okay, na? Now let us see the formulas, how to use these formulas, and what are the formulas of integration. Okay, once you will get the formulas, everything will be clear. Is this concept of integration clear for you? Is it clear, students? I want response from you. Yes, Vaishnavi, good. Okay. Now, students, yes, good, Ritesh. Just now I told you that integration is inverse the process of differentiation. No? Yes. Now, students, let us suppose we are having a function y is equal to f of x. Okay. Now, let us suppose if you differentiate that f of x, then what you will get? You will get f dash of x. Correct? Yes, you will get. You know this. Something f dash of x you will get. Now you do differentiation, integration. Integration of f dash of x dx. If for this, if you take the reverse integration, you will get f of x back with some constant. This is called as integration. A reverse process of differentiation. Okay. Yes, students, as you know, d by dx of x power n formula is n into x power n minus 1. Do you know this one? Yes, we know. Clear? Now, what will be the formula of integration of x power n dx? What we need to find? Let us suppose this is our question. Now, how to find? Let us do this one with this method. Okay, students, let us suppose differentiation of x power n plus 1 is what, Nana? X power n plus 1 dx is what, Nana? Yes, with this formula you apply n plus 1 into x power n plus 1 minus 1 means 10. Did you got this one? Clear? Yes, according to this formula, power and its power should be decreased by 1. N plus 1 minus 1. Plus 1 minus 1 cancel, you get L. Now, apply this means for this. So if you this is x power n is f of x, so that you'll get some f dash of x. Now you want integration of this one means integration of n plus 1 into x power n dx. What you will get, Nana? Yes, it is f dash of x dx. F dash of x dx, what you got? You got f of x. You got f of x. So then you will get definitely x power n plus 1. Clear? Okay, now. Yes. Now, see, n is a constant number. Plus 1. Add 1 to the constant, again it will be constant. So whenever a constant is there under integration, we can take it outside, Nana. Yes. Take it out. Integration of x power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1. Then send this one. That side you will get integration of x power n dx will be equal to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus 1 constant here as we get. Okay, na? Yes. This is the formula of integration of x power n dx. X power n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus some constant. It's very important formula, Nana. You need to remember this. Students, very, very, very important. Okay. See, differentiation of x power n is n into x power n minus 1. Whereas integration of x power n dx is x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Here, power is raised by 1 and divided by that raised power. Whereas in differentiation, multiply with power and reduce that power by 1, decrease that power by 1. This is the difference between integration and differentiation. Okay, na? And this formula will be applicable for all values of n except one number. That is, for n is equal to minus 1, it is not applicable. It is not applicable. Means, what I am saying is, if you write integration of x square dx, you can write x power 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1, that is equal to x cube by 3 plus some constant you can write. But if you have integration of x power minus 1 dx, you can't write x power minus 1 plus 1 by minus 1 plus 1. It is wrong. You should not apply for n is equal to minus 1. Okay. So when integration of x power minus 1 dx is there, that is nothing but integration of 1 by x dx, you will get log x. You need to remember this. Reason is because differentiation of log x is 1 by x, no? Differentiation of log x is 1 by x. Then integration of 1 by x is clear log x. Because just now I told you integration and differentiation are reversed to each other. This formula will be valid for all values of n except n is equal to minus 1. This you need to remember. Very important point. Any doubts, students? In this, do you have any doubts? Yes, good. So you need to remember, Nana. Okay. Now, students, let us give you some formulas. Okay, some values. Let us suppose we are having integration of x power 7 dx. What do we get, Nana? Apply this formula. Just remember, not for all negative values, for only n is equal to minus 1 only. Suppose if you are having integration of x power minus 2 dx, then you can write x power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1 plus c constant. It is x power minus 1 by minus 1 plus c. It is nothing but minus 1 by x plus some constant. Or this constant also not required. Let us suppose it is not required. Okay. You will get this. You can apply for different values of minus, but for minus 1 you should not apply. Got it? Okay, good. Now, Suppose you are having x power 7 dx. What you will get, Nana? X power 7 plus 1 by 7 plus 1. It is nothing but x power 8 by 8. That's it. Finished. Okay. I'll give you one more. Integration of x power 3 by 2 or 1 by 2, 1 by 2 dx. What you will get? Give me answer quickly. Integration of x power 1 by 2 dx. What will be the answer? Apply the formula. What is the formula? Integration of x power n dx is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So here n is value what, Nana? Here n value is 1 by 2. Then write the answer. You will get integration of x power 1 by 2 dx is x power 1 by 2 plus 1 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1. That is x power 1 by 2 plus 1 is 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. So this denominator 3 by 2 is there. Send it to numerator. Yes, Mahantesh, good. It will become 2 by 3 times of x power 3 by 2. Yes, this will be the answer. Good, Mahantesh. Got it? Means if you want it as a formula, yes, I can give you formula. Suppose you are having integration of x power p by q dx. You will get x power p by q plus 1 divided by p by q plus 1. That's it. Similarly, if you are having differentiation of x power p by q, what you will get, Nana? You will get p by q into x power p by q minus 1. This you need to remember. If it is differentiation, power will decrease by 1 and you need to multiply with the power. If it is integration, power will increase by 1 and you need to divide it with the increased power. Here, as it is power and power should decrease by 1. Here, increase power by 1 and that same how much you have increased, with that you should divide. That difference you should remember. Okay, na? Clear? Yes. Now, let us use some, let us suppose, students, let us suppose you are having integration of some c into variable dx. U is variable. U is variable. C is a constant. Then what to do? Simple technique. C will come out integration of u dx. You will get the answer. Are you getting? Means if you are having integration of 2x cube or 4x cube dx, value what? What you will get? 4 will come out integration of x cube dx. Whenever constant is there, that we can take it outside of integration. Same as it is like differentiation. So you will get here 4 integration of x power 3 dx. It will become x power 3 plus 1 divided by 3 plus 1. 4 cancel, you will get x power 4 is the answer. Finished. Got it? Later we will discuss. Yes. Now, let us suppose if you are having some like this u plus v plus w dx, what to do? Split it, that's it. Integration of u dx plus integration of v dx plus integration of w dx. So whenever you are having summation or subtraction in integration, what you need to do? You will split it, associate the property. Split it. You will get the answer. Okay, na? Yes. Now let us move on to trigonometry formulas. See, students, as we know, d by dx of sin x is what, Nana? You know it is cos x. You know. Now reverse do it. Integration of cos x dx is sin x. D by dx of sin x is cos x. For cos x, if you take integration, you will get sin x. Reverse. Okay, you know d by dx of cos x is minus sin x. Are you getting? Then integration of sin x dx is for sin x reverse, you'll get cos x with a negative sign, because here you're getting negative, no? So here you should get negative. You must remember this. Okay, no? These two formulas you just remember. And one more, differentiation of log x is 1 by x, no? Then integration of 1 by x dx is log x. Remember this. And remaining formulas you read from that material, whatever I have given for you in WhatsApp group already I have sent. Once you read all the remaining formulas of integration. Okay, students. Now today I'll send some more exercise problems. You try to solve them. Okay, na? Bye. Okay.